Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Today we are talking about the latest studio album from an abstract illusion entitled The Sleeping City. Boo! Why are we talking about this stupid nerd metal, Mr. Meltdown? We should be talking about real metal! We should be talking about thrash metal! Dog, what the fuck are you honestly going on about? We've talked about so much thrash metal lately. Testament, Coroner, Revocation, Violator. You were fucking here for the fucking Dark Angel video, for fuck's sakes. Were you even paying attention? To be honest, Mr. Meltdown, not really. I just kind of tune into bitch and moan every now and then. I cherry pick whatever video you have suits the argument I need to make, and then I just bitch and moan that you didn't do the thing that I wanted you to do, and then you do it, and then I don't tune in, and the cycle repeats forever and ever, because I don't have a life outside of these walls. That checks out, actually. That checks out. Anyways, this is the third full-length studio album from this Swedish progressive death metal crew. They turned a lot of heads back in 2022 with the release of their sophomore full-length studio album, Whoa! An extremely popular and successful record. Some laud it as one of the best progressive metal albums of the modern era, a full-blown masterpiece. I personally was not convinced of its might and glory. I thought it was really good, great even, just not necessarily a masterpiece. I think Whoa did an excellent job at going into very dark and introspective and consuming territory while still offering very elegant and even colorful prog metal music. And I bring this up because right off the bat, The Sleeping City is a much bigger and bolder album, and it's also a very different album. Like, Whoa was very much kind of about the agony and the wrath kind of from within, whereas The Sleeping City kind of pours everything outward. It's brighter and has a more cosmic feel and cinematic scope and scale. There's also just a lot more going on. Like, an abstract illusion is absolutely swinging for the fucking fences with this one, but it never thankfully gets to the point where it feels like it's overbearing, overwhelming, pretentious, try-hard, obnoxious, whatever big word you want to use. Quite the opposite, in fact. There's a lot of care and effort, and everything has been very thoughtfully and meticulously and carefully placed. Everything exists for a reason. I mean, all across the album, you have very elastic and spirited Opethian-style guitar work. You have a variety of different symphonics and orchestral bursts and strings and theatrics and dynamics that wouldn't be out of place on a Will-to-Run record. You have so many synth-driven passages, atmospherics, melodies, entire sections that draw heavy influence from a variety of different bands, that hearken to a variety of different bands. Everything from Tangerine Dream to Carpenter Brut to Boards of Canada to, even the works of like Vangelis on the Blade Runner soundtrack back in the day. There are some very lush and vibrant soundscapes amplified by like this kind of like technical progressive kind of blackened metal fusion riffage, almost bringing to mind a mix of like Kardashev and Alcest or something like that. You have a song like Frostflower, which starts off with some very sprawling, emotive, gentle Steven Wilson style prog rock, like the Raven Refused to Sing vibes all the fucking way, but it very quickly yet seamlessly evolves into more cold, adventurous, kind of like early to mid 2000s enslaved style blackened prog metal. And then you have like A Geyser Ever Erupting, which at first has some more twisted and chaotic guitar work. It has some more menacing tones, some more towering, crippling, punishing, and pummeling percussive beatdowns and grooves. It really throws its full force on you. There are some clean vocal melodies and harmonies and such, but it adds a more haunting quality. And on that note, the way it gradually blossoms and crescendos into more unnerving and kind of demented kind of avant-garde death metal is very interesting as well. It gets intentionally more cluttered, more keyboards, more dynamics, more weird wailing dissonant tones kind of in the background, hanging ominously over everything. These singular guitar licks do a great job at cutting through the void, almost like brassy horns to it. It has the kind of cinematic crescendo and finish I would expect of like Imperial Triumphant. And the way it transitions from this into intentionally somewhat monotonous, multi-layered kind of cosmic vocals is very cool as well. Very Cynic-esque in a way. And then Silverfields is a full-blown retro 80s synth rock, pop, wave, whatever the fuck you want to call it, banger from start to finish. The simplicity and almost cold kind of feel of the cut combined with its super retro synthy tones brings to mind like a barren wasteland from like an 80s dystopian apocalyptic action movie. Like I'm watching Mad Max. Hell, I am Mad Max. And I'm riding through a dangerous fucking wasteland on a motorcycle as the sun sets behind me. I mean, there are some modern prog and metal flourishes, some big drums and some fancy guitar work here and there, but I mean, those are merely like extra flavors emulsified in. Hell, they are garnishes. They are not the star of the show. God, and there's still so much more. Like, there are multiple 10, 11-minute songs that are so action-packed, I could dissect them in their own full-blown review video. Like, the title track and closing number, The Sleeping City, for instance, is a full-blown synth prog metal opus with, like, waltzy, jazzy sections and, like, Steve Vai-esque guitar pyrotechnics and, like, full-blown shredding kind of harmonized with wild synthy goodness. And there's a section in Emmett, kind of sandwiched in between more atmospheric, acoustic, synth-driven prog rock that piles on so many different strings and keyboards and theatrics and symphonics on top of very aggressive black metal riffage and percussion. It almost goes into full-blown, like, operatic, symphonic black metal territory. I've seen some minor criticism thrown towards the album's final mix here and there. Some people saying that certain sections are kind of buried and can feel kind of floaty. I never really felt or saw that, though. In fact, in my opinion, this is a pretty very well-produced and balanced modern-day prog metal album. Very emotive, very cool, so many different tricks up its sleeve, and it never feels like it's derivative of any of the names we've mentioned thus far. It feels like it really combines all of this to create its own unique kind of sound and perspective. I really love this album. Like, Woe didn't click with me, but this is. I'm feeling a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's an incredible album and one of the best progressive metal albums of 2025, which I know is saying a lot because there's been a lot of great prog metal albums. I mean, Rivers of Nile and Between the Buried and Me are right up there with fucking An Abstract Illusion. Like, that's how fucking... It's been a good year in general for prog metal and for metal in general. God damn. That's a conversation we can have, like, in 2 months, though. We don't need to have it now. Look, it's fantastic. That's what I'm getting at. I think if you loved Woe, there's no reason why you wouldn't love this. If you love modern-day prog metal, there's no reason why you wouldn't love this either. Multiple times this year, when we've talked about albums that blend a variety of different sounds and genres and influences together, a certain gentleman whose name rhymes with Pale It Dak tunes in and goes into some snobbery fucking bullshit. And if you're anything like him, maybe this ain't for you. Maybe you need to fuck off. But aside from those types of fun-hating dweebs, I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy this album. I know I sure as shit have. Definitely check this out. And that is it for the Metal Meltdown. I am not an expert, nor do I claim to be, contrary to popular belief. So what do you think? Do you like this record? Do you not like this record? And what do you want to hear from me next? And thank you for watching. Make sure you press subscribe right here so you get updates on the Metal Meltdown immediately. Boom other videos. Join us in Discord. Stay tuned for a maybe surprise live stream in the coming days. I don't know. I literally haven't planned anything. It will literally be a surprise. But stay tuned. Also, just stay tuned in general because I love you and I want you to be here. That's all. I don't know what else to say. I ran off. We're done, I guess. I should eat breakfast. Yeah, I'm hungry. God, I'm really fucking hungry.